some other legs we're considering here, because for me, I'm going to look to the game script. And usually when a team is up by a wide margin, you see the running backs get a lot more carries because you're trying to eat up the time and you're trying to limit the possibility of turnovers. And especially with the weather being the way that it's supposed to be, with high winds and rain, I think you rely heavily on your running back. And the guy that's been getting the bulk of the carries has been Isaiah Pacheco. I'm going to go over his rushing prop of 74.5. I think he can get to 75 yards here, especially because this has been the handicap against the Broncos. Basically, every facet of their defense is terrible, but they have allowed at least three players to go over 100 rushing yards. So I think that is the play for me. If you're doing a standalone bet, it's going to be Isaiah Pacheco, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, over 74.5 yards. If you're putting it in a parlay, you could do like an alternate line here where, 60 plus, 70 plus, if you want to be a little bit more conservative. But I think there is a play to be made on the running back for the Chiefs just because of the game script.
Yeah, I agree. I like that. I like his anytime touchdown prop. I like his carries prop. I think you can get 16 plus carries at minus 120. I like that bet as well. So we're going to see a lot of Isaiah Pacheco bets in this game. And I get it. I would not bet on Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. That's way too juicy. The Swifties are going to be on that. And also, Travis Kelce is just not healthy right now. Normally, if you can find that at a good price, I would be on it. But again, the weather's going to be a factor. We're going to see a lot of running in this game. And also, he's not 100%. So I would stay away from that. And also, you mentioned this prop earlier, and I thought it was a very interesting way to look at game script, which is Russell Wilson's passing yardage total, I believe, is at, this is just off the top of my head, 219.5. And so if you're following the game script and you feel like the Chiefs will be ahead and the Broncos won't be able to run the ball because they need points, then all of a sudden maybe Russ goes over. I just wanted to ask you about your Steelers. Here they are, incredibly tied at the top of the division. Is this going to, and I mean, it took some work last week. First touchdown in 9 quarters there in the fourth quarter. Is this sustainable?
No, it's not. It's not. But here's why I have hope. Here's why I have hope. One of the silly, stupid things that we've talked about all week in this city, in Pittsburgh, is, well, who really made the call on that play? Was it Matt Canada, or did Kenny Pickett audible out of it? Well, turns out Canada made the call in the headset. Pickett had a couple of options based on the coverage. He saw the Ravens went cover 0, decided to take Pickens one-on-one on an island against Marlon Humphrey, slid the protection. So they both did the right thing. When's the last time we can say Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett both did the right thing at the same time? I'm bouncing in my seat because that gives me hope that we may see that again sometime soon, where Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada both do the right thing. If that continues to happen, maybe we get some of that progression post-bye week that we got from Pickett last year. I still don't know if it's enough for this team to win more than 9 games or secure a wild card spot, but you look at their schedule the second half, guys. They got a couple Thursday nights at home against teams like the Titans and the Patriots. They got the Cardinals on the schedule. I'm not saying there's a chance, but there's a chance.
If you're looking at NFL playoff odds and teams to make the postseason right now, Atlanta, for example, is minus 155 to make the playoffs, which I don't know if I want to lay $155 with the Falcons. You've got the Bengals. They are plus 165 to make the playoffs. So you're getting some plus money there on Cincinnati. Do you believe, and there's a whole list here of teams. When you look at this list, would you put your money on any of these teams, plus money, minus money, to make the playoffs or even miss the playoffs?
I think I start with the fact that I think I would only take these bets at plus money, because I still think it's too early in the season to be laying minus 155 with a Falcons team that is still pretty one-dimensional. Yes, we saw one game from Desmond Ridder where he threw for over 300 yards, but still, I'm not laying minus 155 with that team. I think I still have my eye on the Bengals here at plus 165 because even though they had an incredibly slow start and Joe Burrow has looked absolutely terrible in some of these games, they're still only, a game back in the AFC North. The AFC North, led by the Steelers and the Ravens at 3-2, and the Browns at 2-2, and the Bengals at 2-3. So it feels like if any team can certainly make a run here, it is the Cincinnati Bengals. Looking at their schedule, it's not the easiest one. They play some really tough teams. But we know if Joe Burrow is firing on all cylinders, this is a team that's fully capable of beating the cream of the crop in the NFL. So this one's gone down a bit. We've already made this case, I think, for the Bengals last week. Now it's plus 165. Looking at the other ones, would you put any money on the Steelers? Like, this feels like the ultimate, if you want some adrenaline, bet on the Steelers this year because, man, is it a roller coaster. It's never going to be pretty. Their offense is terrible. But yeah, I've won some bets on them. So if you want to believe in the Steelers to make the postseason, I think it's similar to the handicap on the Bengals, just that the AFC North doesn't have anybody running away with it just yet. And the Steelers are in the lead right now, but it's just not a team that I really want to believe in for the rest of the season. But I don't know. That's the only other plus money one I see that maybe makes sense.
Bryce Harper to get a hit is minus 145. Does that, I don't want to say easy money, no such thing as a short bet. I don't want to fall into that trap, but he has just been nails, 2 home runs yesterday. I don't know. Maybe it's because Spencer Strider is pitching, and look, when he's on his game, he's as good as it gets. That's your sabotage factor. But Bryce has been red hot. And also, I don't know how you can't really quantify motivation. But man, Bryce admitted, look, I was absolutely motivated by the Braves and them essentially making fun of him after that base running error in Game 3, where, of course, he crosses second base. They double him off. Game over. And then Orlando Arcia was heard in the clubhouse saying, "Attaboy Harper, attaboy Harper." And Harper was staring down Arcia last night. With Bryce being that motivated and with the way he's hitting the ball, would you take a shot at Bryce minus 145 to get a hit?
I don't think I would talk anybody off of it because it does feel like a very solid price on one of the hottest hitters in the postseason. So, I'm not going to talk you off of it, but I will say his splits against Spencer Strider are less than great. 3 of 15. He does have a home run and 3 RBI in 16 plate appearances against Spencer Strider in his career. But you also have to factor in the bullpen. At some point, you're going to see some bullpen arms come in there. And so I would lean towards playing this one for Bryce Harper. So I don't know. It does seem fishy that it's only minus 145 because he has gotten a hit in 3 straight games against the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, man. Matt is wanting me to, or tempting me to play a big card. I don't think I want to do it, but I really like that bet a lot. I think the only reason why it's not juicier, honestly, is because of Spencer Strider, right? But then again, Spencer Strider is not going to go the entire game. He's not going to pitch a complete game. I'd be stunned if that happens. So even if Harper, whose splits aren't good against Strider, struggles early, you can absolutely see him getting a hit late. I really like that bet quite a bit.